What's up, Zox fam? We're back with some more Etheria Restart. Now, we're going to be getting into a character overview of the virtuous maiden, Sania. Now, this is definitely an excellent support within the game, and she's going to be bringing you a ton of value in PvP, but also is going to have amazing uses in PvE. Now, when we look at what exactly she does, looking at the Twine Dance, her skill 1, Sania whips the target with soft vines, dealing 240% damage to a single enemy and increasing her strike prep by 30%. So this is already further emphasizing the fact that she needs to be rotating. Now, when we actually take a look at her passive ability, which is the Dewy Essence, Sania stores the power of creation. At the end of the turn, she heals the two allies with the lowest HP percentage by 16% of her max HP and purifies one debuff. Her healing efficiency is increased by 1% for every 1% HP she loses. So there's a couple of different things that I feel like is worth pointing out here. Number one, this is going to be an ability that is passively happening every single time her turn ends. So this is a very, very OP heal because it's happening every time. It does not matter. It's going to happen every time her turn ends. Now, the other thing that's really important is that this is also scaling off of her max HP. So that means that she's basically giving the constant value of her bulkiness versus a DPS's value in HP, which could be fairly low when you're talking about 16% of an ally's HP. And then the other thing is that you're also purifying a debuff. And because this is a constant thing where you're trying to make her rotate as many times as you possibly can, you're going to be healing a lot. And then that's also going to be purifying debuffs overall. And eventually you might get to the point where you might not have any because of how you're rotating her. Now, when we get into the skill 3, the Forest of the Heart, Sania prays for blessings upon her teammates and applies 1 stack of all-powerful protection and recovers 20% max HP for an ally. This skill can revive a fallen target with the cost of an additional 1 turn cooldown. Now, all-powerful protection is a unique buff to her as of this moment, where it increases max HP by 20% up to 3 stacks, and this effect cannot be dispelled. So this means that she can basically make it to where her allies can have an additional 60% potential max HP increase. And this is going to be an insane combination that you're going to be seeing typically with the more bulkier units in the game. But I would also argue you can use this as a way of keeping alive characters that might typically be fairly or further squishier than other characters within the game. So there's some multi-utility there. But the other thing that also makes this really, really insane is that she can then get a opportunity to also revive. And granted, when we're looking at revivers, this actually makes her one of 2 characters in the entire game that could basically bring back an ally. Now, as far as module recommendations, I would definitely say in the early game, all the way into endgame, Swift Rush is going to be her best friend, where it's going to be on the 12 matrix bonus, giving her a speed value increase of 35%. You're of course going to have the Wellspring set, which is also going to be very lucrative to her because she needs HP to further scale how much of her HP is being utilized within that 16% to give to allies at the end of each turn, which this is going to be giving an HP increase of 45% on a 12 matrix bonus. I would also say that you could get away with using sets like, for example, the Strive set, which is going to make it to where you get a defense increase of 10% on an 8 matrix bonus. And then after being attacked, you will have an increase to your strike prep by 10%. You could also utilize ones like, for example, here, which would be like the Swift Raid, much later into the end of the game, where this is basically going to be giving you a speed increase of 15% and then also an attack increase of 20% on a 6 matrix bonus. But I would definitely recommend that if you're looking for more bulk, Colossal Guard is actually really good, where it gives a defense increase of 25% and then an effect res increase of 20% on a 6 matrix bonus. Now, when we're talking about the main stats and substats that you can actually aim for this character, I would definitely say effect res, HP bonus, and HP bonus. Or if you're in the early game, it would be HP, 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 which is just ultimately going to be further investing into the bulk of the character so that you can get as much healing potency as you possibly can. Keep in mind, as her HP diminishes, that will be increasing her healing efficiency, and this will just kind of give you a fair shake at just keeping her alive and just making sure she's able to do her job properly. Now, when we're looking at the substats, I would definitely recommend things like, for example, speed, because you want her to be able to rotate, HP, defense for bulk, and then, of course, effect res, just to keep everything simple. Now, as far as skill prioritization, I would definitely say starting out would be the skill 3, which would be in the first node, increasing the max HP boost and healing effect to 18%. The second node will increase the max HP up to 3 times. The third one will increase the max HP boost and healing effect to 20%. And then the final one here will reduce the skill cooldown by 1 turn. Then it would be the skill 2 following up, with the first node increasing the healing effect to 14% of own max HP. Then you'll also increase the additional healing boost to 0.8%. Then it will go up further to increasing the healing effect to 16% of own max HP. And then also you'll have the increasing to the additional healing boost to 1%. And then lastly, it would be the skill 1 in the first node, which will increase the damage multiplier to 200%. The second node will increase strike prep boost to 20%. The third node will increase damage multiplier to 240%. And the very last one will increase the strike prep boost to 30%. Now, as far as shell recommendations, you're going to have ones like, for example, the Unbridled Science, Teacher Hour, Reason, Mermaid Princess Diamond Heart, Shanghai Jing, Electro Squid, Blizzard, Gigabyte, Alicorn, Supernova, Halloween. Now, of course, getting into our infamous pros and cons, Sania definitely has a ton of pros. Not only is she able to HP stack, which is going to honestly just increase the sustainability of any composition she's in, that's already a lot of value. Then you can look at the fact that she's one of 2 units in the entire game that offers a revive. And so when you're looking at revivers, yeah, she's one of the options that you're probably going to be utilizing, especially in PvP. And then the other thing that she also offers is the fact that she's able to cleanse debuffs. And the passive heal also on top of that, even though it's not a guaranteed AoE heal, it still operates as such because it's basically guaranteed to proc at the end of every turn. So whoever's basically at the lowest HP values, she's always going to be looking out and giving scaled healing off of her own HP, which is extremely valuable. Now, when we start looking at some of the cons, I think the only real con Sania has is, simply put, her revive only works on one target. But I would also argue if her revive worked on more targets, she would probably be even better than the SSR character that could actually revive in the game. And this is one of the things that I think kind of balances her out, is that if you're in a situation where you need more than one res, you are going to have to kind of chance and try your luck to see if you can get her to get cooldowns to be able to utilize it more than once. And so this is just kind of what you have to play into for all the benefits that you get. So with all of that being said, that's going to be basically that on the Virtuous Maiden Sania. I hope that this was able to give you some insight on how this Animus works and maybe even give you an idea of how you can apply her to your composition. But of course, with that, guys, as always, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing Etheria Restart content like this. And with that, guys, everyone, stay blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.